Oh, that putt right there. Who could forget that? It's a moment that is living on in Canadian sporting history. BC's Nick Taylor with that big win at the RBC Canadian Open early last month, breaking a 69-year drought for Canadian golfers by draining a 72-foot putt. Why am I emphasizing the 72 feet? Well, if you come back and take a look at where I'm standing right now, I'm approximately 70 feet right now from Nick Taylor, which is what we thought would be a good way to get this interview going here. So Nick is on the other patio, but Nick, I want to start by asking you this question. 72 feet away from the hole to win the RBC Canadian Open. When did you know that putt was going in?
Probably when my caddy tackled me on the green. You know, it's a moment I kind of blocked out a lot of it, and you know, once that putt disappears, drops in, you know, everything was bedlam. So it's a moment I'll never forget. Yeah,
for sure. And Nick, this is happening RBC Canadian Open at a time when your second child, your daughter Harper, was just born about a month ago. So many emotions going through your mind. So did you have any expectations for this tournament? When did you start feeling like the weight of this was on you now to make history?
Yeah, you know, I feel like probably after the Saturday is when, you know, it was a realistic chance that I was going to have a chance to win. You know, as that day went on, you know, I felt great about, you know, where my game was. I really didn't look at leaderboards. I had a sense of where I was, you know, until the last couple holes when I really knew where I stood in the tournament. But yeah, it was an interesting couple months. A lot of great things happened in our life. So, you know, the birth of our daughter would be number one, but that was very special to kind of cap it off.
And Nick, I'm here now, right in front of you. What do you think it means for Canadian golf that a Canadian sort of finally broke that drought? I mean, that's generational, 69 years. A lot of Canadian, pretty much anyone standing on this patio right now, there's a lot of people had never seen a Canadian win.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think Canadian golf has never been in a better spot. It felt like, I think a lot of us on tour have been saying it for years that, you know, it was only a matter of time. And, you know, for me to be the person to break that drought is pretty special. But yeah, I feel like Canadian golf's never been in a better spot.
And Nick, you know, you turned pro in 2010. Ledgeview Golf and Country Club is your home golf course where you started at a very young age. But you're now 12th in the FedEx Cup standings. You're about to enter the playoffs. What do you think your chances are of winning a tour championship?
Yeah, you know, I've definitely positioned myself to give myself a chance. You know, with the first two playoff events, there's way more points up for grabs. So if I can position myself to be, you know, if not leading, if not close there, to you know, anything can happen at the tour championship. So yeah, the game feels good. I'll have a couple weeks off after the kind of a UK swing that I did over there, and I'll be ready to go.
Okay.
And so, Nick, we've got some golf clubs. You've got your professional clubs. We have
what is that?
kind of a bit of a jokey one here, but I'm sure you must get asked a lot of time for some tips, you know, about golf and putting. Of course, you drive for show, you putt for dough. You sunk a 72-foot putt. We've set up this very impressive golfing simulation here for us here. What's the biggest key when it comes to putting, and especially clutch putts? What are we doing?
You know, a lot of it is making solid contact. As simple as that sounds, I've played with a lot of amateurs over the years, and you'll be surprised how many times they miss hit a putt, which seems funny, but it's a big enough head there for you. There you go.
Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty straight.
The hole's actually the opposite way there, so I don't.
It's because of the camera, the way the camera's facing. That's the reason I'm doing it.
I'm going to try doing it. Yeah. No, so. A word of advice my husband, who golfs a lot, taught me is that never get your partner to teach you, because that ends up in fighting. But he was always like, you know, you have to swing back and swing forward as much, like equal distance, and to read the lie. I'm horrible at reading lies. Like, I'll get down and pretend I'm like doing Mission Impossible, but I'm just like, looks like it's going that way. So I'll try right now. But while I'm doing this, Nick, I want to ask you, the President's Cup is happening next year at the Royal Montreal in Canada. Almost too fast, see? How important is it for you to compete and qualify for that on Canadian soil?
Yeah, it's vastly important. It's an event that I haven't played before, but it's definitely been circled kind of on my calendar, on my list of goals to be a part of. You know, I feel like even before the Canadian Open, Adam Hadwin and I played really well at the Zurich, had a chance to win there, and I felt like that kind of put us on the map for Mike Weir, and I'm sure his captain. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll be on that team, because it would be an incredible experience, especially being in Canada. So we'll see.
And Nick, that trophy behind you, what's it like to have your name on a trophy that Tiger Woods has his name on? Some of the best golfers, Rory McIlroy. I mean, what is that like? That's got to be an amazing,
you know, the history of this tournament. I feel like that alone, being a Canadian when you're in the National Open, but the names on that list are incredible. So there's a lot of things that I forget about, and I get reminded, and it's still kind of a pinch me moment.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Nick Taylor, we can't wait to see more of your wins. Thank you so much for joining us. Maybe we'll leave with you taking
Bill's doing this. A little putt here.
He used
the other ball and put it in.
That's like all right. We're playing pool now.
Thanks for joining us so much. Great to meet you.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, you know what that music means with the Toronto Caribbean Carnival coming up in just a few days. Torontonians are in for a spectacular display not only of music, culture, but also food. And of course, inspired by this award-winning chef and top Canada chef winner Trace Anderson has whipped up some new recipes with some Caribbean flavor. Joining us now live on the patio here on CP24 Breakfast, and you're going to get a little jerky on us today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's do this.
So I decided to make some jerk turkey skewers.
Jerk turkey skewers.
With a honey jerk glaze, with an ackee aioli, mango relish, very tropical, sweet, sour, acidic, all the above, but spicy, Now, that's what
turkey is not far from chicken. People think jerk, they think chicken. Why did you decide to go with turkey?
Turkey is great. It's lean, high in protein. It's a great substitute for any of your favorite other proteins. So, why not turkey? I don't see why not.
Barbecue's fired up. Let's sort of have a look over here. What's going on?
Barbecue's hot.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna,
How hot is it? Like, is this like
close to 700 degrees?
Okay, so this is like peak temps, right?
Yeah. So you just want to
What is this you're putting on there?
So just some oil, just so it doesn't stick.
Yep.
And a little bit of smoked salt. You gotta make sure you season your food from start to finish. And really, you want to hear that as soon as it hits the grill.
Okay. Yeah.
Very, very important.
What about the flare-ups under there? Is that a concern?
It's a little bit of concern, but you don't have to worry too much about it.
Okay.
If that's the case, just shift it a little bit, but also just leave it because you don't really want it to stick too much.
Yes.
So we actually have this glaze as well. That's just literally honey and some jerk spice that I've made from scratch.
So you make your own spice?
100%.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, you're a chef, you should. So,
So we just want to get that cooked and going.
So while that's cooking, what do we do?
That's it. We don't want to chill too much.
No, we don't at all. Yeah.
So I have this some amazing accoutrements. So I have a mango relish that I'm going to dress it with as well.
Okay.
A little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
A little bit of chives.
Nice.
Freshly cut.
I love how small you've cut those up.
Yes.
That's literally.
Some more of that nice homemade jerk spice.
This is part of the jerk, okay.
Yes. We're just going to give that a little bit of a mix.
The aroma already is just fantastic. Mango is like just the greatest fruit.
Oh, it's so good. It's
so good.
Tropical, beautiful, nice.
Yeah.
While that's going, we're going to check back on.
Okay, let's check. Yeah.
That amazing jerk turkey skewers. As you can see, it's easy.
Look at that nice grill marks.
Yep. I've already had some of these amazing, I had to,
Of course. Yeah.
Why not, And then as that's going, the flavors are getting more intense. The spices are burning off. The pimento, the thyme, the ginger, all those amazing spices that go in jerk.
And Trey, when you say you're making it from scratch, like what do you actually mean by that? Like how do you accomplish like spicing from scratch? It seems so many of us are used to just going to a store, picking up a bottle. What's your technique?
I like to balance flavors out really. So some spices have bitter notes or spicy notes or very nutty notes. So I like to balance that out with different spices. So cumin, ginger, coriander, allspice.
And are you kind of constantly playing with maybe it needs a little another dash of this or a tablespoon of that or something to really add the flavor and find the right mix?
Exactly. It's always good to balance out your food because something could be overly spicy or overly too cinnamony. You know what I mean?
And luckily there's a fire station right behind us. So if it's too hot, we can get cooled down.
That's it.
You can hear the alarm, the sirens going off there. Okay,
these are pretty much ready to go.
Right on. Okay, let's
nice
move it
and
over.
glazed.
Yeah. Okay.
Just gonna put them on the plate like that. So what I like to do when I plate, I like to have fun with it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, shift it over a little bit. This is an ackee aioli.
I like the attention to detail. Yeah.
Ackee aioli. So this dish is very spicy but sweet.
Yep.
But this will give it a little bit of that fattiness that will help balance out those amazing flavors.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do that with it.
Oh. I am psyched about this as well. And there's a drink too. We got about just under a minute, Trey, so I don't want to speed you up, but I also want to give you the time to show us all you got here.
For sure. So that mango relish is just gonna go right on top. Oh. Just like that.
Yep.
we're gonna
Nice.
keep it nice. Try to keep it nice and clean.
Yep. I love the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A little bit
Little
more
more,
of the
yeah.
jerk spice, because why not?
Yeah. I only have to
then-
read another 2 hours of news after this, so that should be okay.
And then we're gonna do that scallions
Oh, those are scallions. Okay.
right on top, just like that.
You can tell me afterwards how you cut those up. That's amazing. So, and we're gonna have a beverage as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So traditionally, this is a Jamaican classic in the morning.
Yep.
So it's steeped sorrel, dried sorrel, with ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and the nice hibiscus flower that grows all over the tropics. So we're just gonna pour it right on the ice.
And as you pour this, and I will sample this, I'm going to have to send it down to Jen to get to our headlines. But Trace Anderson, thank you so much for being here today. Can I take a quick bite?
Yes.
All right, before we send it back to Jen, just right off the skewer like this?
Why not?
Yeah, okay.
It's a little messy.
But it is so good.
Yeah.
Jerk turkey. I'm in love. Really, really remarkable story here. We've been closely following the journey of the most expensive Magic the Gathering cards connection to Toronto, and we've now learned who the seller of the card was to this man, Post Malone, who bought this card. Yes.
Yeah, a mega music star by the name of Post Malone, of course, needs no introduction. But to look at how all the dots connected, we're joined by Brooke Trafton of Toronto, who found this One Ring card. Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I'm sure you're still on cloud nine. Like, what a pinch me moment this all has been.
Even right now, like I see the car with the spinning wheels right there. We're walking in, and I'm like, "Is this where they like throw the trees off into
That's
the dumpster?"
right. They used to, yeah. Good old Steve
Like, this
Anthony.
is so amazing.
Yeah, so I know you've brought the pack where you found the card in, and it was
Yes.
at a store near on Bloor Street.
Yeah.
So talk about those emotions. I mean, were you even looking for the card? Were you just getting a booster pack?
I pre-ordered a box,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, like I was gonna go on the Saturday and pick it up, and I was like, you know what, I'm up early on the Friday, it's gonna open soon. I went before it opened, and I was first in line. It was the first one there, and they're like, oh, we have some extras, so I bought 2 more boxes, and it was in one of those. It wasn't. I brought them home. I opened the first box, and there wasn't really anything like crazy in it, and then halfway through the second box is where I found it.
And what happens at that moment?
Yeah.
It was amazing. I knew instantly, like, this was something special, and this was something life-changing. I put it down and took a picture, and then I'm like, okay, it needs to be in a sleeve, so I put it in a sleeve, and then I took the video.
Wow.
I was shaking. I still am shaking.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so at that moment, it's almost literally like winning a lottery ticket, or kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory winning a golden ticket.
100%.
So who was the first person you called to tell about this?
First person, it was a few texts to friends and family.
Yeah.
And then I called the store, and I said, hey, like, how can I verify this? They thought it was a prank, and they hung up at me at first. But then I called them back and said, okay, like, can we just have like an email or a text somewhere I can text you? And got through with them. Then, you know, some of my friends and family were like, you have to put it away. Put it somewhere safe. So, you know, that's the next step I took. Called every bank I could find that had like the right away kind of like, I need to get there right now. Did that. I ended up getting contact again with face to face, some of the people with the bounties, Dave and Adams. Then, you know, my friends are like, you should get a lawyer. And then I said, yeah, no problem. So
That's how.
that's how it
So
went.
tell us about the game itself, like what you collect and sort of what a box goes for, because I don't even know. I know what Pokemon cards sell for.
Typically, like a normal set, a box, like a standard box is about 100, 150. Collector booster boxes are a little bit more expensive, like anywhere from 3 and up, because they do have like the more sought after, they'll have foil cards, alternate artworks. With this set, the boxes went up to like $700.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's the collector
Okay,
ones.
okay.
And that was the only place you could find the ring.
Yeah.
I think when I pre-ordered it, it was in the $500 range. But then when I went and got the other two or boxes, yeah, they were about $700 apiece.
Yeah, so Brooke, I understand, you know, that this past year has been a little challenging and difficult for you with the loss of your mother to cancer. So, I mean, having something like this fortuitous happen is amazing. But we talked about you winning the lottery twice because you had in your head that if I could sell this card to someone, it would be to Post Malone, my hero. And you got a chance to meet him, hug him, and he made a deal right away. So how did that come about?
Honestly, it was it was like a dream. Like, I woke up that morning, that was not on the table.
Yeah.
It was just a normal day. We had, talked about other things before. I got a phone call that afternoon that said, Brooke, you need to go get it. You need to meet me, and this is what's going to happen. and it wasn't even a plan to, like, even try and sell it to him. It was just to meet him. Like, hey, like, I want you to see this and appreciate it just like as much as I do, because I knew you would. And it escalated really quickly.
Yeah, you can see the emotions in your eyes when you're giving him that hug, and he's like, okay, I'll take it.
Did you have a sense that it was worth what you sold it for? Like, did you have a sense that it was that much money?
I knew about the bounties. Like, I kind of, like, all the forms I go through with Magic, like, you could see it, and it just kept increasing. And when I first talked to Dave and Adams, they were the kindest people. And, they knew about my story, and they said, listen, like, we don't want you to just settle for us. Like, if there's other things, keep going. Like, just so you know, it's here. They were fantastic.
Yeah, and I love that, you're still going to your 8-hour job as part-time forklift driver and cashier.
That's it.
But I'm sure you have plans for this money now. It's pretty life-changing.
I'm trying to do it the smartest way possible. I'm still young and capable to work, so I might as well just keep going that route, and then, just
get some fun money.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's been fun talking to you, Brooke. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes,
This is a great, great story. Yeah.
So fascinating. Congratulations once again.
So
Thank you.
All right. Hey, good stuff.
My cardiac patient, so he brought it to my home.
To your home? Good. You're ready for another husband. And one with a weak heart, even better.
Okay, that is the co-creator, showrunner, and co-star of the hit comedy show Bob Hart's Abishola. She's also a comedian, a writer, an author, an actor, everything under the sun. Gina Yashere, she's conquered TV, stand-up, so much more to come. But first, she's making a stop here at Island Soul as part of her successful stand-up comedy tour, The Woman King of Comedy. Let's welcome the one and only Gina Yashere to CP24 Breakfast. Gina,
how's it going?
It's great. So you have been on a roll.
Been on a roll.
But your new comedy tour called The Woman King of Comedy is really, the story of your parents who are immigrants to London from Nigeria, and they're from the Kingdom of Benin.
No, they're from Benin City.
Benin City.
Benin City in Nigeria. So there's the Kingdom of Benin, which is next door to Nigeria. And then I think it was named after Benin City in Nigeria, which is where the bronzes came from.
Wow.
So the bronzes that you see in all the museums around the world, that's my family. Those are my ancestors.
And you say that's the real Wakanda.
The real Wakanda.
So talk about this tour, the inspiration behind it, because you've had specials on Netflix.
Yeah.
You've been touring internationally.
Where I met you.
Exactly, in Hong Kong.
I met you in Hong Kong. We did a show together in Hong Kong. She's a comedian. I don't know if you know this. Yeah.
So what's it about, and how's the reception? Because you performed recently in Montreal, too.
Oh, listen, I love performing. I've been doing this for 27 years, and the joy of traveling to different parts of the world and just killing it on comedy stages. Humour travels really well. Well, as long as you're all speaking English. Humour travels really well. So, yeah, just came back from Montreal just for last festival, did a week there. And, yeah, I've been touring all over the world with The Woman King of Comedy. I did London, then I came out. I've been all over the States, Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, New York, and now I'm in Canada.
Yeah, and, things are busy for you because Bob Hart's Abishola has been renewed for season 5.
It has.
I mean, you've written a book called Cack-Handed, which is a memoir to, basically your life.
Yes.
And you said growing up, you had strict parents, especially your mom, a bit overprotective.
Just a touch.
And you've incorporated her in your comedy, right?
Well, exactly. I mean, my mum used to... My mum used to actually do this. I'm not even going to lie. We'd asked to go on school trips, and she used to keep a scrapbook of bus and train crashes. And she'd be like, you see these children? I know you want to go on this trip, but you see these children are dead because they went on a school trip. So you will stay at home with me and paint the roof. So, so that's how protective she was. We weren't allowed to go anywhere, do anything. It was just be at home, read books, study. That was it. So I couldn't wait to get out and see the world. That's probably why I do what I do now.
And now you're an international, star because you went from London and then the move to Hollywood. How did that come about?
I've been wanting to move to America since I was 4 years old. As a kid, I was like, you guys have got better toys than us. You've got better bikes than us. Every TV show I watch is kids riding around on bicycles solving crimes. And I was like, I want to go to America and be a child sleuth. So it's been my dream since I was 4 to move to America. So any opportunity, when I worked as an engineer, I was the first woman female elevator engineer in Otis UK's 100-year history, but it was an American company. My dream was to work for an American company so I can move to America. So I've always planned it, and that's how I did as a comedian. When I got into comedy, I was like, well, America's the home of comedy. That's where I need to go. And I got into America from Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
I got on Last Comic Standing. They got me a work visa, and I was like, what, you mean I can stay in America for 2 years? Went back, sold my house, gave away everything I owned, came out here, and never left.
Yes, and you've been the British correspondent on The Daily with Trevor Noah.
Yes.
I mean, you have done so much in your time, but I got to ask you, what is your passion still? Is it still that, you know, old school comedy, getting up on a stage, being one-on-one with the audience like you're going to do at the Harbourfront Centre on August tonight?
Tonight!
Is that still #1 for you, or do you like the acting? Do you like being, you know, the correspondent?
I love acting. I love the writing. I love creating TV show. But everything I do is to get more famous so more people will come and see me do my stand-up. So stand-up is always #1.
Yeah.
Everything I do is to feed the stand-up. But obviously I do less shows now for bigger audiences, which means I get to spend a little bit more time in my own bed because I'm super germophobic. I don't like staying in hotels. I bring my own bed sheets and everything. So now I just get to travel and do the shows I want to do. But stand-up's always #1.
Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh, that's amazing. It's like the baby at home that you take care of, that you're overprotective
I've been
of.
moulding this baby for 27 years.
Well, you can catch Gina Yashere at Harbourfront Centre tonight. This is for Island Soul. Don't miss it.
It's already sold out, though,
Oh,
so
it's
if you
already
haven't got your
sold
tickets,
out. Oh.
but there's more happening at Harbourfront Centre. Go on harbourfrontcentre.com. There's other shows happening, you know, loads
So
of
many
DJs,
performances.
music, everything. But me, if you ain't got your ticket, it's done.
Oh my gosh, you're my comedic hero, Gina Yashere. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Show me good love in real time. I'll show you what a real love feel like. We could turn a second to a lifetime. Slow it down and make a moment. And baby, yeah, you know you're the one. 'Cause I could fall in love with you twice. I'll ride all the highs and the lows. Follow wherever you go.
All right, well, this is If Only I, featuring Bebe Rexha, Loud Luxury, and Two Friends, and you've likely heard this, and if you haven't, you may be living under a rock, but you have an opportunity to maybe check out some of this song. This weekend, Veld is returning to Toronto. It's an electric music festival in its 10th year, and Joe DePace and Andrew Fedek, Loud Luxury, joining us here on CP24 Breakfast again this morning. Welcome back, boys. Good to see you here.
How you doing? The only thing that can get us up this early, it is currently 5 a.m. in Los Angeles.
I was going to say, I know you guys are in LA. You're coming to Toronto for your performance, and then you head back. What's it like coming back? I know you're from London originally, but coming back to sort of play your home country, at least, at a festival this big like Loud Luxury?
Well, fun fact is we actually started performing at this festival at like the side stage, opening like I think at like 1 p.m. or something like that. So we've kind of progressed all the way to actually headlining the festival now.
That's pretty amazing. And so what's that like, Andrew, the fact that you guys started on, you know, one of the sort of more smaller stages and now you've made your way to the biggest stage. When you look back and look at the evolution of your career, does that sort of say something to you about where you've come?
Absolutely. Playing this festival has basically been the equivalent of when your kid is growing up and you just are slowly measuring them up against the wall. You know, I still remember the first time we played there in 2015 to a very small amount of people. So it's going to be really special when we take the stage and headline it this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so exciting. And Joe, you know, when you talk about Loud Luxury, I mean, Body, of course, comes to mind right away, but you guys have got so many other songs that just have this incredible earworm-like feel to them. I mean, you can't help but sort of move around and start dancing when you hear it. What's your formula like? How do you guys come up with these sort of like hooks?
Well, it's always super important to us that we have music that people can relate to and that people can dance to, and they ultimately have the best time to. So I think that's going to be a really big thing this weekend, and Sunday's going to be very exciting. We're coming back home, and we're going to be bringing the energy. So.
And Andrew, Bebe Rexha, Two Friends, you guys teamed up with them for If Only I. How did that collaboration come about, and what's that like? Because, I mean, these guys are the guys behind, you know, the big booty mixes, et cetera. Bebe Rexha, of course, incredibly well known. Like, what's it like to be part of that sort of trifecta of talent?
It was certainly a labor of love because we've actually been working on that song with Two Friends since 2021. Oh. And then I remember that they randomly hit us up one day just saying that Bebe was interested in cutting the song. As soon as she brought back a version, it sounded amazing. It was literally one take, ready to go. The hardest part, realistically, about the song was getting it out when you have 3 artists with different release schedules in mind. You know, someone's dropping an album, someone's got a project. It was really difficult. So that took 2 years, but it couldn't have come at a better time. Summer 2023, baby.
Yeah, amazing, the collaboration. And of course, summer 2023, you know, we're sort of beyond pandemic restrictions. So Veld is going to be, you know, incredibly loud and sort of banging and everything else. But I want to ask you about performers right now. We've seen different instances, whether it's BB Rexa, whether it's, what's his name, same as it was, people throwing things at people on stage, etc. Have you guys ever experienced this, and what are you seeing? Are crowds different these days, the behavior, the antics, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, that happens quite a bit, but I've got good reflexes, so good luck trying to get me, because if you do, then you'll get some props. But I'm gonna call you out and bring you on stage so everybody can see.
Yeah, I'm talking about Harry Styles. That's the name that sort of slipped my mind there, Joe. So thanks for bailing me out on that.
Harry
Andrew,
Styles.
what about Veld? What are you bringing to your set at Veld this time around that perhaps people have seen Loud Luxury before, may not have seen before? What's going to be new? What's going to be different?
There's a big difference between a headlining set and just opening up a stage. And between the music we're going to play, the energy of that, the production moments, you know, the fire, the fireworks, all of that is going to come
Why are you
together
giving it
and
away?
give a proper headline set.
That's amazing. So it sounds like it's going to be next level. Joe, Andrew, Loud Luxury, really appreciate speaking to both of you guys here. Thanks for coming back to breakfast, waking up early out on the West Coast. Hope you have a great set this weekend, and enjoy Toronto. Maybe we can get you in studio one day soon.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to come back.
Thanks, gentlemen. That's Loud Luxury. Joe DePacy, Andrew Fettig. We'll take care. We'll talk to you soon.